Cryptocurrency is broken as a currency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all the layer 1 blockchains everybody hypes, none of them function as money in everyday life. You don't buy coffee with Bitcoin, you don't pay your grocery bill in Ethereum, you don't split rent in Solana. Why? Because the infrastructure isn't there, merchants don't accept it, transaction speeds are unreliable, fees are unpredictable, and most importantly, nobody uses it for actual commerce, so there's no reason for merchants to bother accepting it. It's circular. No merchants means no users, means no developers, means no infrastructure, means no merchants. The cycle perpetuates. Most blockchain projects try to break this by, just throwing money at the problem. Use our token, and we'll give you rewards. Trade on our exchange and earn yield. Farm liquidity and make money. All financial incentives, right? All attempting to manufacture demand through speculation. Pi Network looked at that approach and, said, no, that's the wrong game entirely. Instead, they spent years building Mainnet infrastructure quietly, developing merchant integrations, creating apps, and now they're using the holiday season, when people are actually shopping, to connect the three pieces that make a real currency system work: merchants, users, and transactions. Not incentives, not rewards, not speculation, just commerce. That sounds boring. That's exactly why it matters. Okay, so here's what Pi Network actually launched. It's called the Holiday Commerce Initiative, and despite the name, it's not a marketing stunt, it's infrastructure coordination. Here's how it works. Pi Network identified merchants and mainnet apps that already accept Pi. They created visibility around those merchants during the holiday season, and they gave users a reason to participate by creating a simple engagement mechanic. Shop with Pi. Share your experience. Get entered in a raffle. That's it. No price manipulation. No artificial incentives. No core team deciding what discounts merchants offer. Each merchant runs their own promotions. Each app sets their own deals. Pi's role is purely organizational. Connecting supply. Merchants accepting Pi with demand. Users looking to spend Pi. And the engagement structure is, honestly, brilliant in its simplicity. Users who make purchases and then post about it in the PiFest Fireside Forum automatically enter a raffle for Pi-branded merchandise. There are actually over 100 items available. It's just simple community participation, really. But, notice what's happening underneath all this. Every transaction that occurs is a real mainnet transaction. Every merchant handling their own business means decentralized commerce. And every user spending Pi instead of fiat, that creates actual utility demand. Now, compare this to how other cryptocurrency projects usually run promotions. Typically, there's a centralized marketing team, price incentives, and artificial hype campaigns. Everything is designed to manufacture temporary excitement before, the price dumps. Pi's doing the opposite. No price targets, no announcements about upcoming features, no countdown clocks, just, here are merchants accepting Pi, here are users looking to spend Pi, go transact, and, hey, tell people about it. That's how real economies scale. Organically, from the bottom up. Merchants notice demand, so they adopt the currency. Users notice more places accept it, so they use it more. Infrastructure improves because actual activity creates demand for improvement. The on-chain signal that actually matters. Now here's the data point that validates everything I just explained. 1.2 million Pi moved from exchanges to self-custody wallets in a single day. That number seems random unless you understand what it means. Exchange outflows signal that people are moving cryptocurrency off trading platforms. They're not selling, they're not liquidating, they're removing it from the place where it's easiest to speculate. Why would people do that? Well, it's because they're planning to use it. It's because they want to control it, and yeah, they're preparing to transact with it in the real world. That's long-term holding behavior. That's merchant adoption behavior. It's actually the opposite of trading behavior. And the timing is critical here. This massive exchange outflow happened right alongside the Holiday Commerce Initiative. Coincidence? Probably not. Users are literally moving Pi to their wallets specifically so they can spend it with merchants. That's the signal crypto analysts completely miss. They watch price movements. They track trading volume. They obsess over which exchange has the most liquidity. But the real metric, the metric that separates actual utility from hype, is this. Are people moving assets away from platforms designed for trading and toward personal wallets designed for spending? If yes, you've got real utility developing. Pi Network's got it happening right now. So, right now if you're watching this and you're not yet subscribed, you really need to subscribe. Because what we're about to cover, the structural difference between Pi's approach and every other cryptocurrency network, this is honestly the framework that determines which projects actually achieve adoption. Go ahead and like this video, make sure to subscribe, And yeah, turn on notifications, because we're covering the real infrastructure plays that move crypto from speculation toward utility. That's the TJ Crypto World difference. So, let's talk about why decentralization actually matters here. Here's a detail that really separates Pi's approach from those centralized alternatives. Pi network does not intermediate transactions. What does that mean? Well, it means Pi isn't sitting in the middle taking fees, controlling terms, or managing merchant relationships. Merchants handle their own fulfillment, developers handle their own customer support, and users handle their own wallets and spending decisions. This keeps liability clear. It reinforces the idea that Pi apps and merchants are independent businesses, not extensions of the core team. And that's important because it prevents the collapse vector. When a cryptocurrency network is too centralized, when one team controls too many moving pieces, one failure cascades through the entire ecosystem. FTX, Luna, Terra, Quadriga CX. Every major crypto collapse involves centralized infrastructure failure. By keeping merchants independent and letting developers run their own operations, Pi creates redundancy. If one merchant fails, the network doesn't fail. If one app has problems, other apps keep functioning. The system keeps working because power is distributed. This also mirrors how real economies scale. Governments provide infrastructure, banks provide services, but individual businesses remain independent. That's what sustainable growth looks like. Pi's applying that principle to cryptocurrency commerce. And here's the beautiful part. It flattens the ecosystem. Developers are encouraged to post promotions in the same forum channels as users. Merchants and shoppers share the same space. There's no exclusive founder club, no venture capitalist gatekeeping, no corporate hierarchy. Everyone participates on the same terms. Merchants execute, users spend, developers build, the core team coordinates. That's the structure that scales sustainably. Why this timing matters for 2026. The timing of this initiative tells you everything about Pi's strategy going into 2026. Markets are volatile right now. Social media is loud. Every blockchain project is screaming for attention. Price predictions, hype campaigns, and yeah, even celebrity endorsements are everywhere. Pi's doing the opposite. With 17.5 million KYC'd Pioneers and over 215 new hackathon applications, Pi Network is positioned to grow quietly. No price targets, no countdown clocks, and no promises about when adoption hits. Just steady infrastructure development. That's deliberate positioning. While other projects rise and fall on narrative cycles, Pi's betting that real utility compounds slowly. Transactions compound, users compound, merchant adoption compounds, all happening below the noise level. And if Pi succeeds long-term, and I mean genuinely succeeds at becoming a functioning currency, it won't be because of one announcement, it won't be because of one viral moment, it'll be because people kept using it when nobody was watching. This holiday commerce push is a small but significant step in that direction. It's the kind of unglamorous infrastructure work that builds empires, not the kind that makes news headlines. But that's actually a strength, because the projects chasing headlines are the ones that crash hardest when the headlines stop. Pi's building something people actually use. And, use compounds quietly until suddenly you look up and realize a genuinely functioning payment network exists. If you understand why merchant adoption matters more than price movements, hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Because this channel is about tracking real infrastructure development, not hype, not speculation, but actual utility emerging from cryptocurrency. That's what we're covering. That's what matters. Join us. So here's the bottom line on Pi Network's holiday commerce initiative. This is what meaningful cryptocurrency infrastructure looks like, not announcements designed to pump price, not incentive programs designed to manufacture temporary demand, but actual merchants accepting actual currency for actual commerce. So, 2 million Pi moving off exchanges into personal wallets signals that users are, really preparing to use Pi. That's behavior change. That's utility emerging. And Pi Networks structured it so that merchants, developers, and users all operate independently while at the same time contributing to the same ecosystem. That's honestly the only way cryptocurrency networks actually scale without collapsing. The contrast with other blockchain projects is, pretty stark. Most are obsessed with price and hype. Pi's obsessed with transactions and utility. Most are centralized around founder narratives. Pi's decentralized around actual commerce. So, this holiday push won't show up on news sites. It won't trend on Twitter. It won't create pump and dump opportunities. But hey, 6 months from now, when you look at actual merchant adoption numbers, transaction volumes, and user engagement metrics, you'll see why this initiative mattered. That's how real utility works. Quietly, consistently, compounding. Before you go, Check out my other deep dives on cryptocurrency utility frameworks, how to distinguish real adoption from hype cycles, and why merchant infrastructure matters more than price metrics. I've linked them in the description, and they're showing in your suggested videos right now.
Thanks for watching TJ Crypto World.
Stay analytical, stay focused on real utility, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.